In this training, we are going to design the framework for your offer. So within the context of this pass through for you inside of Offer Art, I want you to choose one offer that you're going to focus on in this whole curriculum design section. And in this portion of the program, we're really going through and making sure that the framework, the training design, all of the deliverables, etc., everything is really intentionally designed to get your clients incredible breakthrough results. Because when you have offers that get your clients incredible breakthrough results, well, dang, isn't that really what we're all after in the first place? They get incredible results. They want to keep re-signing with you. They never want to leave your world. You feel so excited by the work that you do as a coach because you know that you can get people incredible results and transform their lives. They tell their friends, they're DMing you testimonials, sales become easier, you impact and change the lives of more people. And that all comes down to intentional offer design and intentional offer creation. So this starts with the framework of your offer. So all that a framework is how you're taking your client from A to B. How you're taking your client who signs up for your program from where they're at to their desired result. And all a framework is designing that pathway in how you take your client from A to B. So a lot of people get caught up in, oh, a framework needs to be cute or clever, or it needs to have alliteration, or it's something that I need to have it be all fancy and cutesy. No. It doesn't need to be fancy or cutesy, cute or clever. It just needs to be a really smart, intentional pathway of what your clients actually need to do, the action that they need to take, the skill sets they need to be, who they need to transform into on an identity level to get the desired result. So when people are designing offers and they go to outline their framework of what their offer is going to be, the biggest mistake that I see is people just go buck wild and they say, this is what I feel like putting into a program. And they take the topic that they're teaching and go, what can I put in here that would be any type of value? And I'm just going to teach everything I've ever learned about a subject and stuff it into a curriculum. No, that is a recipe for overwhelm. That is a recipe for information overload. And when we have too much information without implementation, your clients aren't actually taking action. And action is what drives results. So in order to fix it, we are going to put into a framework trainings that actually give a means to an end transformation. So how do we do that? We start with what is the transformation of your offer. So choose the offer you're creating, choose the offer you're focusing on within Offer Art. Now that you have that, I want you to ask yourself, what is the transformation of this offer? You don't need to have the perfect tagline here. It doesn't need to be all perfectly formulated. I just want you to know, whatever words come out, what is the end result of this offer? For example, for a business coach, a big macro offer is like, this program, this offer, it's going to help her build an online six-figure business. Boom, done, right? Not complicated. Maybe it's a micro program where I'm teaching clients how to make sales on their Instagram stories. Okay, boom, done. That's the micro offer result if you're doing a micro offer. Maybe if it's more an energetic micro offer, it's like, I'm going to teach you how to unleash your magnetic energy to attract clients and make money on repeat. Okay, what is the transformation? We're not just unleashing our voice to unleash our voice. Unleash our magnetic energy to unleash our magnetic energy. Why? Right? What's the transformation? What do they want? They want to attract clients. They want to sell, make sales. They want the big macro result. Cool. That's the offer transformation. Maybe for a nutrition coach, a weight loss coach, big macro program, you're going to lose the weight for good and keep it off forever. Okay, great. If it's a micro program, maybe you're giving it a lens like, weight loss in the summer, know exactly how to keep the weight off while you travel all summer. And that's your micro program. So you're starting with the end result. Marriage coach, macro offer, you're going to heal your marriage and be in love again with your partner. Have a rock solid marriage, love of your life marriage, heal it, love them, have it for life. Maybe if it was a really small micro offer, you're just teaching communication, learn to move through sticky conversations so you can gain back the connection, trust, and love again. And you're just, maybe if you had a, 1 week boot camp where you're just teaching them how to actually move through conversations that resolve in connection rather than a fight or the silent treatment. One slice of the pie, right? One slice of the pie, one angle of the pie, like we talked about, slice of the pie. But you're starting with the end transformation. So this happens all the time. I'll ask people, what's your offer about? And they're like, well, my offer is about community, and my offer is about them feeling really connected to each other. And I also want to have weekly calls. And I also really want everyone to just feel really connected. No. What's the transformation? What's the result? Well, I want them to have, calls about nutrition. No. What's the transformation? So really start there. That's the first question you're going to be answering in the action step. That's step 1. Okay. The second question that you're going to ask yourself, and this is important for before you go into the framework because it absolutely affects the material that you're going to include in your framework, is who is your dream client for this offer? What is her stage of journey that she's at in her transformation? What are her specific problems? What are you assuming that they already know? Now, stop reading the Google document for a second. Just listen. This isn't a messaging program. If you need help with messaging, you should buy Trailblazing Content if you haven't already. This isn't a messaging program, but you do need to know who your offer is actually serving and who is the true dream client and where is she at. Because what you include and how you end up selling this offer based off of what you choose to include is going to matter based off of the level of client you're serving. So as an example, business coach. If I make a content program for a business owner who's brand new to internet business, that is a very different content program for someone who is a business owner who's signing on clients at some level, but somewhat irregularly and needs sales calls to convert. And now my program's going to help her sign on clients daily, convert faster, sign on higher ticket clients, and without sales calls. Those are two very different programs. For example, my program Trailblazing Content is more this. So I'm going to assume, what are you assuming that they already know? I'm going to assume that my dream client already knows who they help and how they help them. I'm not going to teach her how to niche down, how to find your ideal client, how to write an I help statement. That's a very different content program for a different person than someone who's a little bit further along in her journey. So you need to know that. And this goes back to product suite, making sure that are you serving someone that's at a beginner level, intermediate level, advanced level, if your niche has levels and levels of depth. And if so, who is this offer really for? Okay. Another example, a strength coach, a kettlebell coach teaching someone who is brand new to lifting weights, never touched a kettlebell before, and you're teaching them new to the gym how to hinge their hips and squat properly is very different from teaching a client who's focused on lifting, been lifting for a while, and now really wants to increase their pull-ups from 2 to 10 and go from pressing a 12 kg bell to, a 40 kg bell for reps. Okay. Two very different programs there. So just ask yourself, who's the true dream client and where is she at? What level of problem is she having? So that you're really designing the course for the proper level of problem. This is absolutely going to affect the material in your program. So serve who you want to serve. Okay. All right. Then this is going to be in the meat and potatoes of this. You're going to brain dump your offer framework. So you're going to ask yourself this question: what skill sets, actions, and ways of operating does your client need to have, do, and be in order to get the transformation? What skill sets, actions, ways of operating do your clients need to have, do, and be in order to get this transformation? What skill sets do they need to have? What actions do they need to know how to do and be doing? What ways of operating do they need to be, right? What ways of operating do they need to be in order to get this transformation? What ways of operating? How do they need to lead themselves? What does their, mindset need to be? How do they need to be moving in order to get the transformation? Now, this is going to be the meat and potatoes of your brain dump. So no, the question here was not, and I'm going to go down to this at the bottom. I say this here. This question is not, what is everything I feel like teaching because I think it's interesting? That's not the question. It's, what do they actually need to get the transformation? It always comes back with, is this a needle mover for who they need to be, how they need to be moving, what action they need to be taking, what skill sets they need to get the transformation? If it's not those things, it's extra and you need to delete it, okay? So I'm going to give you an example of this, okay? When I ask myself, this is question number 3, right? Brain dumping your offer framework. What skills do they need? Ways of operating? What actions do they need to take? I'm just showing you an example. This is essentially was my brain dump for Trailblazing Content. And Trailblazing Content is my content and messaging program where you learn to attract and sign on high ticket dream clients straight from your content on repeat, okay? So who do they need to be? How do they need to be moving? They need to be the content trailblazer, okay? What actions do they need to take? What skill sets do they need? And this was truly just a brain jump. Well, they need to know how to speak to their truest dream client because they're going to start signing on high ticket clients, not low ticket clients who say it's too expensive or not right now, like high ticket clients, okay? They need to know the different content types to actually convert. So they're not just posting educational content. They need hooks that stop the scroll so people are actually reading what they have to say. They need caption frameworks that convert. They need to not just be giving value. They need to be showing they're the solution to the problem. They need to be yada, 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 yada. Okay. I don't need to go through all of this. You get it. But this was just from my true embodiment of asking myself, what do they actually need to get this result? What do they need to get this result? And this is what came out, okay? Now, for something that's more robust, like a big macro program, obviously your framework is going to be much robust. So with the Trailblazers, at its core, it's build a multi-six-figure business, right? Build a multi-six-figure business. And when I go through, okay, what skill sets do they need? Who do they need to be? What actions do they need to take? For me, what comes out is, okay, they need content messaging, boom, boom, boom. Here's what comes out when I think about that. When I think about what they need for offers, boom, boom, boom. What skill sets do they need? What actions do they need to be taking? How do they need to be operating? This is what comes out. Launch and sales, for me, this is what comes out. I think of brand, I think of leadership and mindset, and this is what comes out. Now, something I want to say is for you, your version, even if you are something like a business coach, maybe you have an identical niche to me, and maybe you have a program that teaches a near identical transformation of essentially make money online. Your curriculum, your framework may look very different from mine. It may look very similar, but it may look very different from mine. Because for you, maybe your skill sets that you're a genius on, that you feel people need, is you're an embodiment queen or an energetics queen, or you teach feminine energetics and you teach people how to get in touch with their intuition and move from them, or human design, or use their human design to leverage making more money or self-select their strategy, or you are an embodiment coach that teaches people to move through mindset hiccups through their body and then transcend mindset hiccups and get into action. Okay, if that's your embodiment, freaking include that. That's what makes your offer unique. And if that's part of your framework and you believe in that, well, hell yeah, you're going to sell the crap out of that because that's your methodology. For me, that's not my genuine embodiment of how I built what I built, so I don't teach that, and I don't try to. So include what's genuinely embodied for you, but just make sure that it's always coming back to what is the transformation. You're not just teaching embodiment to teach embodiment. You're teaching embodiment what? To attract wealth, to move through mindset hiccups, to be who you need to be, to, create your own strategy so that you can get X. Just keep that in mind, okay? Is there a question? I would go back after you do your brain dump. So you're going to do this after you do your brain dump. I want you to ask yourself, is there a common question challenge that clients have where you can make a training that's going to help them navigate this on their own? So as an example, for the Trailblazers, something that I found just from working with clients comes up a lot are questions like, how should I be spending every day to grow my business? Like, what are the big dial movers? What should I be focusing on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis to move my needle forward, to move the needle forward? So I have a training in there that's called your daily, weekly, monthly success plan. And in the training, it's like what to be doing every day, what to be doing every week, what to be doing every month to grow your business. Or I get the question a lot of like, at what stage, where should I be putting my focus on different stages of business? And so I have tracks in there. If you're earning this much, do this. If you're earning this much, focus here. If you're earning this much, focus here. I know a lot of people are like, how can I, just design my launch plans? So I have creating your monthly and quarterly sales focus, or how can I move through mindset hiccups? So I have a training on how to transcend mindset hiccups. So for you, is there a common question or challenge that gets asked where you can make some kind of training or material that needs to be there that's just going to help people move through that? Maybe it's like, if you're a nutrition coach, like, a common question is like, how do I navigate a menu? Okay, just make sure that's on there if that's a common question that you get. Or if it's something like, I just know that I'm going to need a framework or a blueprint for how to move through this common question or challenge that always comes up. Include that there. Go back and double check and make sure you have that there. So you'll see that when I kind of went back for my own framework for the Trailblazers, I added this whole success plan section just to make sure everyone was taken care of and like, where do you have common questions? Okay. So this is your action step. I want you to answer the below questions and do your framework brain dump. First, what is the transformation of this offer? Don't try to be cute. Don't try to be clever. What do your people actually want? When they're like, I just wish I had this. I just wish I felt this. I wish I had this. I wish this was my life. What are they saying? That's the transformation of the offer. Okay. Who is your dream client for this offer? What's the stage of journey? What are her specific problems? What are you assuming they already know? So you're really designing for your true dream client, and you don't need to include things that they don't need, okay? Brain dump your offer framework. This is going to be the milk and potatoes, the meat and potatoes here. What do they actually need in terms of skill sets, actions, and ways of being to get to the transformation? And then after you do your framework, go back. Is there a common question or challenge that clients have? And just make sure that you're including in your framework anything that you know that they're going to need to be able to navigate this challenge or question on their own, and not always need to be leaning on you for support for that. Okay. So do this, share your answers and the framework that you outline, your framework brain dump, in the Facebook group. And just a quick reminder, I'm going to say it again, for the framework, the question is not what is everything that I feel like teaching that could possibly be something, that knowledge that I find interesting. Information does not get people results. Implementation gets people results, and then we give them the information required to implement well, okay? Have it be action driven. This is the question. Action, skill sets, ways of operating to get the transformation. Little notes of things that might be hiccups for you that we're just going to transcend right now. This can be sloppy. It's not final. It's a rough draft. We're going to continue to edit, delete, audit as we move through the curriculum design process. So this is just that rough draft where I want you to get all of your ideas out. A reminder to lean into your unique embodiment. I said this before, but I'm just going to say it again. If you have unique approaches that you know are going to be what's going to serve your dream client in their transformation, lean into that. I talk a lot about leadership. I talk a lot about mindset. I have programs where I teach on things like it factor, because that has mattered, and I believe it matters for me, and I believe that to be true to get the result. But if other people might, amazing, don't teach it, right? For you, what is it? Do not include things that you think need to be there because you've seen them in other programs. If you didn't need it to get the transformation, your client doesn't either. So what are you stuffing in there just because you've seen other coaches in your niche say, oh, you have to do it this way, and now you're putting pressure on yourself that your clients need to do it this way? If you didn't need it for the transformation, your clients don't need it for the transformation, okay? Important example, like I have never been a big like nurture sequence email girly for me. So I don't teach a ton of that because I haven't used it yet. When I start using it, maybe I'll teach it, but right now I don't. Okay. If this is a short term micro program, obviously this is going to be a really short framework. If it's a macro program, it's obviously going to be more robust. Let your offer focus be your offer focus. If I was creating a 1 week boot camp that had 3 trainings in it, of course, this assignment would be much shorter than creating a 6-month outline program, okay? Last thing, it's impossible for you to get this wrong. I want you to own that. Like, shake out your body right now when I say that. You are the offer artist. If you tune into you and you tune into your humans, your community, your people, and you think, what do they want? What's the transformation that they really freaking want? And what would change their life? And how can I design this offer to be what they need to transform their life? What you decide your people need is perfect. It's perfect. So you can't mess it up. Own it, lean into your embodiment, go do your brain dump, answer these questions, do the brain dump, and share it in the Facebook group. I am so excited to see what comes up for you. I'll see you in the next one.